know that you worked on the drift physics and Need for Speed Shift this year. You put in 100 hours of that. How did EA approach you with that?
Well, it was just kind of like it wasn't like a me coming to EA and be like, hey, this and that. I met Rod Chong, who's very involved in that, and also Speed Hunters. And we just got to talking about video games and this and that. And I've always been a big sim player. I know, you know, your brain doesn't know the difference between driving a fake steering wheel and a real one. It doesn't even know the difference between using a control pad and pressing a button from an e-brake or pulling an e-brake. So for me, video games, simulator video games have always been a good way for me to keep my hand-eye coordination moving. And in the off season, it just keeps me fresh. So we were talking about that, and he told me about Shift. When before it was announced, I was like, I want in, I want to help with this. You know, I just want to have a good game out there. And so that's when they were like, hey, you know what? We want to bring you on and do the physics. And for me, it was more of a passion thing, not a money thing. I just wanted to have someone come out with a realistic drifting game. And, you know, I'm not 110% satisfied with where we're at, but I'd say I'm about 80. And, you know, for a company like EA to do something like Shift is huge, right? I mean, for a company to go out and step away from a full arcade thing to something that is a challenge is incredible. So I think, you know, hopefully there'll be another installment and we'll be able to refine it a little more, but it is hands down the most realistic. While it might not be the easiest,
no, definitely not.
Drifting's not easy though.
No, it's not, period.
So, you know, whether it's a video game or real life, I wanted you to feel it, and I wanted people to start on their couch understanding that, you know, when you see the car start to rotate, you got to counter slightly. It's not like the other games that are out there where you just go, throw it into turn, press a button, and you're in drift mode, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this game is realistic. You have to work the car, you have to feather the throttle, you have to use the e-brake. So it was a goal of mine, and, you know, we've achieved a good part of the goal.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's only so much time to develop a game. So, you know, I'm proud of what we have, and I think that in the future, maybe if there's a new one coming at some point, we'll see what happens.
Oh, like, yeah, I mean, drifting is super realistic. So I enjoy it quite a bit because I've actually had the time to play with it. Some of the guys in the community are saying that it's a bit hard. They're having a little bit of trouble getting it. You know, you can't just give her on the throttle and go. What are some tips that you can give some people to, you know, help them drift in the game?
Well, for drifting, I mean, the mode that I like when I'm using a controller, I like Pro mode with low traction control because that allows you to be a little bit more aggressive on the throttle. You know, you know, we have some aids built in, like beginner mode and the novice, I believe. You know, beginner mode, like when you get close to a wall, you'll notice it helps you brake a little bit. But pro mode, you know, what I play, the best thing that I can recommend to the guys out there playing is you really need to feel the car. Like, approach it.
Please, all sound from any kind of audio system or stage, please be turned off. The opening ceremony is starting in 5 minutes.
You have to put yourself in a mindset that you're driving a car, not just playing a video game. And once you do that and get your mind right and start focusing on where you're going and really like feel what you're doing, then you're going to understand it.
Yeah.
The trick as far as playing and actually using the buttons is don't be so hard on the throttle, you know, and don't be scared to use the e-brake. So come into a turn and you use a weight transfer just like you would in a real car. You come to the turn and you go like this and you go like that, and when you go like that, the car rotates, and once it rotates, you turn a little bit. So, you know, boom, boom, and then once the car rotates, a little bit of left. And, you know, if you feel like you need to extend it, just give the e-brake a couple taps. It's not like you need to hold on the e-brake. If you throw the controller one way and tap the e-brake, the car is going to come out that way. That's going to how you're going to initiate. And when you're sideways, you can use the e-brake to actually extend the drift. And once you're at the point where you're ready to move more towards the turn, get on the throttle. But don't just stay on it. Get on it, get the car to move, and come off it. And the cars have plenty of power, especially mine in the game, where you're just like, up, 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 up. And then once you're set in the drift, you know, you can carry it out. You know, it all depends on how large of a turn. The best thing to do is feel it out.
Yeah.
Go to a course, do some big donuts. Go to one of the open airs on the course, do some donuts, and do some bigger donuts, and just get the feel on how the throttle works and stuff like that. And you know, again, it's about the mindset. You're not playing a game, you're driving a car. Need for Speed Shift does an incredible job of giving you a driver's experience, especially the in-car view. Right, you're hitting the brakes, your head moves when you feel like you're in it. And you know, again, it just takes a finesse. It's not like your average arcade, easy pick up and play video game. It's more hardcore, and, you know, it was kind of by design.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted someone to understand drifting. If you play beginner mode with all the aids on, it's really easy. You can pretty much go on throttle. You still need to use the e-brake to extend it, but pro mode, it's driving a car.
Cool. I got one more question for you.
All right.
Can I get in on the ride along next year?
We will get you in a ride along 100% next year.
Awesome, dude. Thanks a lot.
You got it. See y'all.